You know, if you think about it, there are reminders of history all around us. It'd be pretty hard not to notice. There are museums, some big, some small. Historical plaques all over the place which tell us about a place or a person or an event or a building. There are historical sites where guides dress up in period clothing and children visit on school trips. Monuments, some to remember an important person, others to remind us of a terrible loss. As a culture, we celebrate history all the time. During Remembrance Day, ceremonies, television shows, and schools reinforce our collective memory of the sacrifices made by our soldiers in the past. We mark anniversaries worthy of celebration and of sadness. In movies and television, we live vicariously through an imaginary past. It becomes the backdrop for our myths and our stories. All of these expressions of history are not academic or scholarly. They're all out in the open for all of us. They are public. Welcome to the third episode of the History Toolkit, where you too can learn the skills and investigative techniques of real historians and master the past yourself. On today's episode, we'll talk about the role of history and historians outside the classroom, otherwise known as public history. What is public history? Public history extends history from the academic world to the community at large. It is the history we all own and we all partake in. Anyone can engage in public history. Every time you go to a museum, watch a movie, learn about the community's past or your family's history, you are enjoying a type of public history. Many professional historians work in public history as well. In their role as public historians, they work outside traditional colleges and universities. They work for museums. They advise cities on preserving their heritage, and they work in film and television, advising. If you remember in our last episode, we talked about how when historians do original research, they publish in peer-reviewed academic journals and books. These are not books or journals intended for a general audience. They assume that you already know tons of knowledge about the past. They have lots of references and footnotes. Often they contain excerpts in other languages which are not translated. Public historians seek to move this type of knowledge from the academic world to the everyday world. They will translate these dense academic writings into easily read books and articles for everyone, called popular history. Public history, therefore, is all about communication. Public history, at its heart, seeks to help communities understand their roots. It becomes the venue through which we can all engage with the past. As you become more proficient in the past yourself, you too can take on the role of public historian as you translate what you've learned into fun and useful information for others in your life.